You nice and comfy, my guy?
Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah, guys, what's up, man? Sorry to be disappoint y'all. I know we don't have anybody on this time, but over the New Year, Christmas holidays, you know how things go. We've been out of town. We've had a few things going on and everything, but really, kind of today, guys, we just wanted to talk about, kind of recap the year 2024. I don't know what we've learned, what we've gained perspective on, really with the people that we've had on, what we've kind of learned from them, and really 2025 kind of where our goals, where we see ourselves, not only with the podcast, but us as individuals, with our sobriety, kind of not necessarily what we expect out of 2025, but kind of really start riding the wave into 2025. But I don't know, man. Kind of feels surreal, like looking back on 2024, because kind of a lot went on, not only with
Getting out of rehab.
getting out of rehab, getting back up on your
getting
feet,
back on the work, getting back, and like how time goes by so quickly. But like, I mean, as you get older, it always does. But but actually getting like changing your life, and then getting like actually having to work through life and like deal
sober,
and deal with the problems, but like the things that you weren't able to do like through an addiction, man, or you just didn't care to do it. And like, it's like paying all your bills, not just like little things that you have to do, but like
bills suck,
rent
dude.
and like and power and this
insurance,
and that, and learning how to, and it's crazy to some people because they're like, I mean, well, it's just you have to pay them. And it's like, I hear you, you know.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, but like going through life and then not doing it, and then and then coming out of this darkness and like an addiction, since high school, like it's the ability of learning these things were just not available for me. I mean, I didn't try, and just winging life. One party at a time, dude. And like, so like last year it was just, and then now we're going into a new year. And then like this year I'll be 2 years sober in October, which is weird.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but like that, like I look at it and I know we're just into January, but then I'm like, golly, like October will be here, and so I mean it's a lot to look forward to, man. I mean I look back. Even from the stresses, even from the things that were last year. But, man, like, we started this, there's, we're starting company, we're doing, and, like, in the matter of less than a year, so, like.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
In April, we'll be out of the farm for a year.
A year.
So, like, we haven't even gotten to, like, a full year.
We haven't been a year out of the program.
Yeah.
For that. I don't know, man. I just know, man, looking back on it, and I was thinking about this other night, is, I don't know, I guess when you have a lot of time to sit there and think when you're in rehab and you're doing these things, and then when you get out and it was very daunting and overwhelming in the fact of it's like, this is what I want to do with my life. This is the direction I want my life to start going. And I'm like, I literally do not even know where to start to even make, I want to make the first step, but it took time in that to even know where to step to. And, now I guess we're at presently, not that where we want to be or that I'm, necessarily content with everything around me. There's a lot of things I can do better as a person, as a friend, as, a million different things that I can do I can do better. But looking back of where even 3 months ago, Chase, and then saying like, hey, and not necessarily I'm giving myself grace or other people grace of saying like, hey, you don't always have to be growing in these leaps and bounds and these crazy things. It's just incrementally, like I'm getting 0.1% change every single day. But really gaining perspectives through that, where I am now is like, at times, and we talk about it, at work or, I don't know, here or wherever we're at. It's just like, it's crazy to sit here in this house and be like, dude, like, how do we even get here, bro? Are these things we've talked about, and to people telling them, like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. We're starting a podcast. We're going to have, this is the idea. This is what we're trying to do, and then really start walking that out, and then looking back and saying, like, man, this is actually happening.
Yeah.
And we say it all the time, and it doesn't matter how I feel, how my day's going, what's happening externally. This is what I do now. This is what I do now. We do a podcast every single week.
Yeah.
I get up and go work every single day.
Yeah.
We give, we engage with the community. Do I always feel like sitting down? Do I always feel like doing these things? Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. But it has, I was incapable.
Until we do it.
Yeah, I want to tell you what I'm saying. Before, if I look at it before, Chase, I was incapable of doing those things. Of being anywhere on time. I had to go get dope first. Period.
Yeah.
I'd be here. Well, if the dope man didn't answer, buddy, I'm going to be there until I get dope. So then I don't have to be sick for that time. And that just being where I'm going to, where I say I'm going to be, being there. And actually being present in the things that I do, instead of just being like, dude, I cannot wait for this day. Or making up some excuse that I have to leave because I'm dope sick or I want to go get high.
Yeah.
I can actually enjoy the company and enjoy the people that I'm around. And I mean, too, looking back just on this podcast, Chase, about how many people, Lord, we've sat down with a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
A lot of good people.
A lot of great people. And
crazy stories.
Yeah, crazy stories.
And it's not just really about the stories. Yeah. It's about, like, how these people got better.
Yeah,
and, like,
and the
what
connection.
they do
and the connection.
Day to day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Connections for sure. But, like, it's a lot of these people think just sitting down and, like, listening to these stories. But, like, if you actually gradually listen and, like, find the time to see how they actually really did it. Like, that's the whole point of this, is to actually, like, okay, well, figuring out and admitting, obviously, your problems and stuff, whatever. We all know that's the first step, whatever you're doing. But taking action, man, and then seeing the people's life change, like mine. I mean, like, I can honestly say, man, like, I never thought I'd be in the position I'm in today. It's like I've always, I've worked for myself for a long time, but I've never put it into action. And, like, now that I finally see what people are saying and that have always told me is, like, man, you're doing it, but, like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it like you don't have the confidence in yourself. You don't have, how do I have a confidence in myself when I'm drunk all the time? You know what I mean?
Hungover.
Yeah, like, of course, no confidence. Yeah. Or I'm high, or, like, the people don't, it's like people think these things are escapes and they're not. And then you find yourself one day, and I hope to God you don't, but, like, and you're like, what am I doing? And it's like, but to see the people and the people we've met and the good things they're doing in life.
Like, really doing it.
Yeah,
really doing it.
But, like, it was hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, people, I just want people to understand, like, they're like, dang, that's sad. Like, don't think about the stories as sad. Think about the outcome that they're in now with the life they're living and how they live, man. Like, those are the things people can be doing. There's lost souls out there, man. The lost people that last year, it was the roughest part of their life. They don't know where to go, man. They don't they need help. They know they need help, and like they just don't know where to go. This is what this podcast is about. We're trying to show people
There's hope.
there's hope. There's
Yeah.
places you can go. The people that can help you, and like there's so many options, and like you can't. You don't be discouraged, and then that's what I can say, man. Is a year from last October, man. Like I'll say it confident. Like I don't want to say it like confidently. I don't mean it like that. I'm saying like I can say confidently now, man. From that year, where the year before that October of 2023, where I was suicidal, I was in the complete darkness. I just was lost, man. I didn't know where to go. To now, from now it's January 2025, and over a year, man, is like it's absolutely insane to me.
Yeah.
And like
And not that it's
there's
easy.
so many
Not that
emotions.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not that it's easy now.
Yeah, but like I know there's a good life. This
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say. Is I'm not trying to like be sad about things, man. But like, dude, like there's a good life. Like you could, and it's not just taking drugs and alcohol away, but it's actually putting
Living.
forth of what in living and putting forth of what you're actually capable of, because people are more capable of what they think they can do,
You're like, yeah.
and it's just you gotta. Yeah, you can put down the alcohol. And you can still be miserable, but like to live a life, man. This podcast is about lifestyle, mental health, addiction, and whatever it helps you to be and to get rid of. I hope,
Yeah.
and that's what I want this podcast to be for people. Is
Yeah.
like the comfortability of like hearing us speak about the things like, and then other people being so brave to talk about the bad things that happened in their life, but the good things that came from it.
Yeah.
That's what I want this podcast to be for people.
Yeah, and it's not always. I think, I guess if I was speaking brutally honest, it's like when I, and again, I've kind of did the tour D rehab, but it's almost they sell you this pipe dream of the fact of like, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, your life's going to be completely different.
Right, yeah.
And I have found through my journey that it's not, you still have to do these things day in and day out, but it's not overnight or within a year. It's like you have all this figured out now.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
But I want to say but we put in a lot of work.
Yeah, we put in a lot of work, but
And it's not to brag. It's not to brag. I'm not trying to say this, but I'm saying, but people think, and I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm just saying, like a lot of people think that it can't happen in a year, and then it can't happen, and that it doesn't. Everything doesn't happen in a year, but I'm telling you, in a year span, bro.
Yeah, there will be
The
huge
thing. Oh my
things
God.
that are going to happen.
And you're like, what?
And it's, but like I was saying, it was just not. It's not always easy, because I mean, life still is life.
Yeah.
Bad things are going to happen.
All the time.
People are going to get sick. You're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to make the wrong
People
decisions.
still suck.
Yeah, absolutely. People are still going to lie to you. People are still going to be people to you in that fact. But I won't say I'm good at it. I've gotten better to not let those things start affecting me internally.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, hey, this is what it is, Chase. And hey, this has no reflection on us or me, because I know in my heart and through my actions, I'm doing the best I know how to do and to the best of my ability.
It's an actual learning lesson.
Yeah. And, I mean, and I think we've learned not only in this podcast, but, in jobs and different dealings of like, hey, you know what? We're never doing that again.
Yeah.
We're never have it or maybe we need to talk to so-and-so before this and kind of chop it up and set it straight before we do this, that, or whatever. Yeah. And, I've learned a lot. not only with myself, but I don't know really how to run a business and how to handle people. And not that again, I'm going to make mistakes, and I'm going to do things wrong, but I just know what not to do now.
Yeah.
And really, and two, the podcast, it just, man, sitting down and just getting really to sit down with these people. We're not talking, they're not sharing their story at a meeting we're at, Chase, or we're not like, oh, getting a 5-minute snippet of it. We're actually really getting to sit down with these people and have a real conversation about not only, their journey and everything, but just a human to human interaction with them. But it helps me knowing that there is a lot of different ways one can go about this game, and again, it's just, I'm not saying that I'm against it or I'm not for any of that, but it's just so many times it's like you have to do X, Y, and Z. You have to do it this way, and if you don't do it this way, then it's not going to work. Well, we've talked to a lot of people, and I've seen 50 people on camera, not even off camera, but 50 people on camera, and you see it. I mean, there's some commonalities in that,
Yeah.
but there's 50 different ways that how they, help, whatever they need to do to help them stay on the way, and that just gives me a broader way of saying, like, man, when I'm stuck like this or I feel a type of way, well, it helps. I don't know. It just helps me gain perspective on a different view, because I talked to you about this too, Chase. Is I get locked in on a view, or like locked in kind of box thinking at times. Like, okay, I'm doing it this. I'm gonna keep doing it this, and until it's right. Instead of like, maybe I can look at it for somebody else's perspective, and it helps gain that perspective and look at it in a different way. And but I mean, I know last year we kind of just, what was our first one in March?
Yeah, I don't know. We were still in rehab. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
But like, that's the thing, is the growth of this is like, for a lot of people that don't know, it's like we started at Chris's mom's house, just on a
terrible phone,
on
some boxes stacked up,
with the phone, trying to make sure it's like sitting right. The mics that didn't work, that we looked like that were props.
Yeah, they weren't even plugged in.
So for all the people that were like, oh, well, your mics need to be adjusted, they weren't on.
They weren't on. They weren't even plugged into nothing.
And here's the thing, is it's not faking it till you make it. It's start it and do it and then perfect it. And don't perfect it. I didn't mean to say perfect, but like start it, like, and do it, and just do it the best of your ability. Not be perfect.
You don't have to know all this stuff. I mean, you don't have to have the best of the equipment. You don't have to go out and invest $10,000 and all this other stuff.
No.
It's like you're gonna have.
And do you and be you. Make it your own. Like, don't. I mean, it's like I try to tell people. It's like I don't want to be all these other podcasts. Like, that's not what we're about. We just want to be us, and like to let people know. Like, our ultimate goal, guys, is to like get people help. Then like, and to learn really how to get the help, because that's the most important thing. If you need help, like there's so many ways.
And it doesn't have to be with drugs or alcohol.
No,
guys.
It's mental health. It's your
anything.
It's your daily life. Your lifestyles. You can change.
If you want to be healthier.
Yeah, we don't. And maybe that's what we talk about more in the 2025, man. I mean, we focused on a lot of these addiction parts and stuff like that, but man, they all go hand in hand, because it's all in one. Especially through addiction, people that go through addiction, they know. It messes with your mental health. It's your lifestyle choices.
Physical health.
It's
everything.
Yeah.
It's encompassing, man.
And so, like, really, man, like, and and also, I want to say this, and I don't want to say this rude or anything like that, but there's a lot of people out there that have an addiction that they don't think they do. And that's a problem, too. Because I really hope people watch these things as like, man, that's me. and it's not to make you feel bad, guilty, but like I hope it makes people think sometimes that, man, I might need to change something, and it's okay to change it.
When we say addiction, let me reiterate this, Chase. Like, I know with me, like if you eat healthy, you can go on the other side of that and go overboard.
Yeah,
You know, we're like saying maybe I'm taking this. Basically, we want, I think, is for you to take a good hard look at it and say, like, all right, like, do I have is this benefiting me?
yeah, and I got like I'm not sitting here saying that. I'm saying like I got stuff I'm working
Oh
on
yeah,
too.
dude.
Like, but like ultimately too, man. Like we always talk about it. Is this stuff helps us because it's talking about it, and really where I was kind of going with it is like is the fact of being able to talk about things like and talk about the hard conversations that because people hate having
Yeah, it's
and like
uncomfortable. They're afraid how people are going to view them.
yeah,
Like,
who cares? Like we gotta get. There's such a stigma on things nowadays, especially is people think it's not okay to talk about or that's where people get so lonely is because they don't think they can say what they need to say. And I'm telling you right now how freeing it is to say things sometimes because, God, like you just hide stuff and then you become a liar. And then it's just like, and then you feed off the stuff because I was a liar. Can't speak for Chris, but the way we talk, I can kind of say we both were. And like, it's just this life, man, that you don't have to. It feeds you this terrible, terrible things like just lying, stealing, just whatever manipulating,
just
wherever it takes you. It sucks. Like,
yeah.
and that's the whole point, man. Is like with what we want to do is have these conversations with people that are hard, that are tough, that people don't want to talk about. They're like, you hear it on just on social media, stuff like that, and you have this stigma of people that are on drugs or have mental health problems and things like that, and people judge them. And like, those are real people. People like guys, like those are real people. And like, who are you to say? Because there's a lot of people that do things on a daily basis, and that I'll just say it like this: there are Christians that go to church that are terrible people. And then there are drug addicts out there that'll give the shirt off their back for people. So come on, like two and two, like these people have nothing, and these people have everything, and they're judging because they go to a place every Sunday, and then so like here's my thing is like why do we judge these people and not these people? We don't need to judge anybody at all. So like here's what like it's hard enough. Life's hard enough as it is to necessarily go through a day to day life, and like that's why I drank. That's why he did what he did.
Drugs.
Drugs.
This
And
is good drugs, dude.
yeah, and it's hard enough as it is, man. And like we go through a day to day of acting like, and people fake it. People are like, life isn't hard. I don't believe you. Like I don't like. There's
I don't
so
know
many
what life
people.
you're living, bro.
Yeah, like some people are such in denial, but like they're miserable people, man. Like you don't have to. I don't know, man. I can go on and on about some things.
Dude, I guess is what I feel what you're saying is like I don't have to put on a front or anything. I can literally just go
Yeah,
and just live.
that's it.
If it sucks, I'm like, bro, I'm not having a good time right now.
But you have to embrace the suck.
Yeah, like I'm not having a good time right now.
You have to
my guy.
embrace the suck too, because like it's not. Yeah, you don't have a good time.
Yeah.
But like, but that's where I learned to live this life I'm living now is like, it's all a learning perspective, man. But I just kind of took it to a further level than a lot of people, and I'm learning a lot more things than I am in a later life, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, therefore, here I am. But now I have to live. I want to live a life where I want to help people. I want to help myself. Ultimately, help myself. But while I'm helping myself, I have to help. I want to help
Other
people.
people. Yeah.
And like that's what life's about, man. It's all about love, and like that's what you want to talk about the Bible and things like that. That's all. That's all it is love, man.
Yeah. And I know that's in a perfect world, man.
Yeah, and it's not perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely not perfect. But I guess that's the standard in which you're being measured, to measure by. Because at the end of the day, Chase, we can sit here and say whatever we want to say.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
I mean, it sucks at times and it's tough. And I don't, you said love. Like sometimes I don't love things. Sometimes I don't even love myself at
No,
times.
but
You
I
know what I
like
mean?
ultimately no. But like you have to love. But like it's like us going to the gym when we don't want to. Sometimes you gotta love people when you don't want to.
Yeah.
You might not have to love them, but you gotta show some love. And
Yeah.
like if when you do that, like there's something about you. Like I know for me, it's like but like it's not even. But it's not because I necessarily want to do it, man. It's when you do it. It's the self gratification, not gaining anything from it, but just doing it.
Yeah, the
Even
act
if
of
you
doing it.
don't want to, it just there's something. It's not any form of money that and that's what a lot of people makes a lot of people happy is money and this and that and like whatever. But like I just know nowadays it's like if I can do something for somebody, the self gratification I get for myself,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not anybody seeing it, but how I feel afterwards, it's the best feeling ever. Like I'm like, and it's not the of picking up a check, man, or doing this or like whatever it is that it's. I just I love doing it now, for no reason, just
Yeah.
to do it.
I get it, man. And so I don't know. I guess just to kind of steer it back, 2024 was, I guess, to say, a roller coaster ride in many different ways.
It was.
Even when I got out, and I don't know, you have all those plans of what you want to do and how you want to do them. But when you start walking them, you're like, man, that's probably a little bit harder than I thought it was going to be, or a lot of different things that are unexpected. Um, and really talking about kind of how I remember looking about some of our older videos and just the guests we've had on and kind of how we've evolved as people and everything and kind of where we're going in 2025 because I mean I wouldn't necessarily say we're going to be changing a lot with the podcast, but I think
No.
we're going to be moving in a direction to impact a wider variety of people and reach more people who want to be reached.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, that's the coolest part about this, and let me interrupt you again. But it's the people that it does reach already, and like
Yeah, they keep up with it.
that keep up with it, but also that reach out.
Yeah, all the
That
time.
I mean, that you would never. I mean, like, and maybe people watch it and they don't. That's not the point. But it's the things is like when people do, and it's like, okay, like our mission is not complete, but it's
Yeah, that's what it's about.
what
This is
it's
what.
about.
Yeah, this is what we're doing. This is the
Like
reason
that's
we're
what
doing
I
it.
hope it reaches,
Yeah.
because like it's not the millions of followers, it's the person that needs to hear it, even if it's one person.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't matter if it's the 200 whatever subscribers we got, thank you so much. But like, man, I hope I hope listening to the people that we have on, or we're just two momos sitting here talking, but like, man, I hope it generally like hits home, man. That's in some way. It is like we just want to be real, and we want it to feel like, man, like we're your friends, because we are. We're real people with real problems, and we go through it every day. So like, and we just want to talk about it. That's it. And I hope it hits the heartstrings on, not heartstrings, but home for some people that like, dang, man, like I can relate. It's just relatable things.
Yeah. And, I am thankful, though. I mean, I say all this stuff and recapping it. Man, I'm thankful for, a great family, great friends, and just people along the way that have taken their time out. Just the people that sat down with us, that they had nothing to gain from this. They probably had more to lose than they did to gain, but them sitting down with this and taking their time out, I'm thankful for not only their time, but them sharing their hearts, their experiences, not only with us, but with the people who do listen. And I think going into 2025, man, it makes me excited in the fact of like who we're going to get to sit down with.
Yeah.
And, I know we have a bunch of people lined up. They're going to be coming on. But just the people, it's just crazy how the web works of, we meet somebody through somebody who refers us we messaged on Instagram that we would have never came in contact with this person.
Yeah.
They want to sit down. We get to sit down with these people that we would never cross paths or anything ever with.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really, I don't know, it kind of opens my eyes. And again, just the perspective that it gives me. But, I'm excited in ways. Sometimes I know when we talk about it, it's overwhelming at times. I'm not just talking about the podcast, but just with life and the things that, not only I have going on, Chase got going on, and we have going on in the business as well. And it's just like, man, I don't even know. And I tell you that, I'm like, Chase, I don't even know what to do, bro. But time and time again, when you just start figuring things out and saying, like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to start. I think I should start doing this. And you start just...
Well, then you do it, and then if it doesn't work, well, then recalculate.
Yeah.
And maybe the way you were doing it, it was the right way. You were just doing it the wrong way. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been figuring out. Is like, there's some things I was doing, and I may have been doing it in like my own, like, because I say my own way that didn't work. So, but like, it doesn't mean I failed. But if you want to do something, well, this way didn't work, but let me try it this way. And most of the time, it's like, okay, that didn't work, you go this way. Maybe this doesn't work. Well, okay, but I really want to do this.
Yeah.
Let me try this way.
Well,
And you might do it 1,000 ways, man. But like, if it's a dream and you want it and you don't give up,
consistency.
it will work.
Yeah, being consistent.
It will work.
Yeah.
But everybody likes to give up so quick.
Yeah.
I did. But like, it's the being personal with myself, because I can't talk about other people, but like this past year, man, the consistency I've been doing, the things that I've been doing, and the time I put into it, and I've been making it come to fruition, man. There's so many things I had in my mind, and we've been speaking it out, and it's actually happening.
Yeah.
And like, but it's putting in the work. So like, I have to put in the work. We have to put in the work.
On Sundays, on
Saturdays, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
It's not, oh, I need a freaking off day, man. Like, so many people are like, oh, I love my weekends and da da da. Well, that weekend you missed out on something.
Yeah.
It's not, and then I'm not trying to sit here and give a pep talk or like be this motivator. It's not that, but I'm telling you right now, especially like you want it, you gotta go get it, and it's like there's no other way. There's no other way. Like, and I say that from experience. To speak it like I'm telling you the honest God's truth.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just saying it to say it. It's like, dude, like I'm more motivated in my life than I am today because I see when you put the time and you listen and you're doing the things you have to do and the things that work out. It's not always works out, but the things that a lot of things have been going right in my life. I can say that. But they've been hard and then I get through them and then the light shines. You're like, oh, that makes sense. That's the best way I can put it. It's hard to explain. It's the best way I can put it.
We're gonna keep doing it, though. We're gonna keep. And man, I want to say this: appreciate everybody along the way that supported us, that has encouraged us, that's came on, that or you might not even. We might not even know who you are, but you do watch this. We just want to encourage you to keep growing with us. Again, hopefully you're getting something out of this. Hopefully there's something that is positively impacting your life. But like we say, man, we don't have it all together,
No.
and it's not like we're coming to you from a point of moral superiority or somewhere of a position of like, oh, we have it figured out. You need to do this. Man, it's day to day for I know for me as well in a lot of things, and getting through it and showing up every day, not only for myself but for other people, man.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for 2025, and I haven't been able to say that in a long time, Chase.
Yeah.
I'm excited what it's going to bring. I know it's going to bring its own set of challenges and hurdles, or setbacks, or this or that. I understand that, but I'm genuinely excited to see where it's going to go and the people I'm going to meet, the experience I'm going to have. Like I said, I went to Hawaii this past year, man. I would have never thought I would ever have that opportunity because the previous year I was sitting in rehab, my guy, you know, and I never thought that was something that would have been, on the table. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm appreciating. I was able to be present there and enjoy it with my family. And I hadn't been able to do that in a very, very long time.
Yep.
And it's something I remember for the rest of my life. Literally, I'll take that to the grave with me, man.
Yeah.
And that's something that is, I don't have all the way sink in, but I'm appreciative of it, man. But
and that's like me too. This holiday, this is the most present holiday I think I've ever been in because I got to see a majority of my family, man. There's some I wish I could see, but that's in due time too, man. But like, I got to be present, and that's the coolest part.
Yeah.
And that's what life's about. But I wanted to say before we cut off is through this podcast, and if you're listening, please reach out. Please, we've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, and it's all Rehab Revs, at Rehab Revs on Facebook. Rehab Revelations, you can look up on YouTube, obviously, but you can look up on Rehab Revelations on Facebook, Instagram, but it's Rehab Revs, right? Our tag is, we have an email, and I forget that one.
Rehab Revs 2024
at gmail.com. Rehab Revs 2024 at gmail.com. And if you want to, if you're listening and you want to tell your story, we'd love to have you. We'd love to meet you. We'd love to hang out with you. We'd love to whatever, man. If you got somebody in mind, interested, and is ready to tell your story or their story, we would love.
Yeah.
We love it. I mean, and it's it's the power of the people to really spread the word. And that's what I've been learning a lot too, is you never know what your story or their story will reach just one person.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a matter of reaching millions of people. It's about reaching one person, because your story can help somebody.
Yeah.
Whether you think it or not, people think that they're saying something stupid. I'm sitting here babbling, but like,
you didn't heard us talk. We say stupid stuff
Yeah.
all the time.
yeah, but that's not the general point, man.
Yeah.
It's just saying what you have to say, because, like, to you, it's important, and to somebody, it's important, and like, just to tell somebody how you did it, and like where you're at, and like people need to hear that, and like your story might be something to somebody, because they're, like I said earlier, somebody's going through something similar. We're all humans. We all go. We don't think that we're going through a similar thing as somebody else, but we are,
Yeah.
and we all live a daily life that is quite similar, and you can't. It's not for granted, man. And like, if you want to reach out though, just hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, email, and we love it. We love to hear from you guys.
Love y'all. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate you, man. Love you, bud.
Love you.
Can
We
do it
love
without you. Yeah, can do it without you, my guy.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
it.